paper, mister?
The power of words to inform, educate, entertain, inspire. It was the invention of the printing press by German goldsmith Johannes Gutenberg in 1440 that sparked the printing revolution. Machines putting ink to paper changed everything.
It's something that I can save and go back to and see again, and I don't need any technology to do that. I don't have to read a videotape on some kind of player. I can open a book and read it. I can open a book from 1493 and read it.
Frank Romano of Salem is the president of the Museum of Printing, located in Haverhill, Mass. The museum is a treasure trove of artifacts dedicated to the history of printing, its evolution, and its mark on society.
I started on a quest a few years ago to get every book on the history of printing before 1900. And so I have most of them now. Some of them are in other languages, but they deal with all aspects of printing and how it evolved.
The collection of printing presses is staggering, from the small foot-driven presses.
They had pedals on them, so they only required one operator, whereas the big presses required two operators.
To this elaborate, ornate press called the Columbian, designed in 1813 to print newspapers.
So now you would open it up, open up your platen, and there would be your copy to print. Okay. And it would be all raised metal or raised wood.
This massive cylinder press churned out newspapers for the Hingham Mass Gazette for 80 years. Definitely not a one-person job.
So you would have two people on the top and two people on the bottom, two people feeding paper, two people receiving paper. Within an hour, you could probably get 1,000 papers.
One of the Printing Museum's prized collections is the Nuremberg Chronicle, a Latin literary work about world history written in 1493.
It is filled with about 1,000 of these drawings that were done in wood, as woodcuts. It was also the first book to run the type around the image. It's done on handmade paper, and this is an original leaf. In the display are original leaves as well. But the important thing is that I just love to have people touch it, because you're touching something that comes from 527 years ago. And you have a direct connection to some printer who did that on a printing press, took it up, held it up to make sure it was okay, and then put it in a pile.
You can't do this. The legacy of the company is at stake.
Because of its vast collection, the museum is the go-to spot for the movie industry. It provided all the props for Steven Spielberg's 2017 movie, The Post, set in 1971.
So this is a very famous headline. So there's Ben Bradley, who was the editor, the owner of the Washington Post. And so when they were doing the movie, they wanted to reproduce this page in metal. And we were able to do that for them. So in this shot with Tom Hanks, the actor is working on a turtle. That's our turtle, that little wagon. And the page that's on there is actually the New York Times, and they're supposed to be at the Washington Post. So this whole page we were supposed to get back, but Steven Spielberg kept it.
How does that make you feel?
I'm going to get back someday.
In the old movies, when they said stop the presses, could you really stop the presses?
No, that rarely ever happened. However, you saw those cylinders that printed the paper, the plates. They would do the first page last. So theoretically, if something changed in the world, they could change that one plate.
Barry Green demonstrates hot metal typesetting with the Ludlow typecaster, popular around 1900.
If you look at a newspaper, the columns are smaller typefaces, the headlines and subheadlines are bigger type, so they would be set on something like this. These are all individual molds for the letters in your name. Okay, and there's your name in hot metal.
Oh, my name's in hot metal.
Yes.
There are some 7,000 books inside the museum's library, including one of the world's smallest book. Frank himself has authored dozens of books, and in a time when digital publications is threatening to eclipse the newspaper industry, Frank believes all the more reason to preserve print.
The Nashua Telegraph is from 1938, and this is when the great hurricane came through. And of course, in those days, the hurricanes didn't have names.
Do you worry about the extinction of newspapers?
I do, absolutely. Because people are getting their information from social media, they're getting information in other ways, and as a result, we're losing really the way we recorded history.
And ever use one of these? This particular typewriter dates back to the 1930s. If it wasn't for the typewriter, how in the world would we know how to use one of these?
The way I get kids interested is to talk about type. And that's the thing that is the common denominator we all have. We all use type in some way, shape, or form.
In fact, Frank is an expert in forgery and counterfeiting and has helped out with some pretty big names with his expertise. J.K. Rowling was once accused of plagiarism. She hired Frank. He is a forensic typographer.
This woman claims that in 1981 she did a whole series of books with a protagonist called Larry Potter, and she sued J.K. Rowling in 1991 for plagiarism. In the material she provided, the only place that said Larry Potter was in a typeface that didn't exist in 1981.
As the world moves deeper into the digital age, Frank Romano wants to make sure we never forget the creation of movable type and how it has shaped world events.
Today, it's moving so quickly that someone can tell a lie, and that lie can go around the world before anybody knows that's not true. And newspapers, I think, were the best way to communicate news and information. And little by little, we're losing them.